Are you still stuck thinking about them? Well, here's the good news. You can actually move on so fast that it feels illegal to do so. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can break free and finally feel unstoppable. You could take this advice, or if you'd like me to personally help you through this process, book a free discovery call with me in the descriptions down below. Breakups are hard. Whether you did the breakup, were on the receiving end, amicable, and so on. But no one talks about the getting over stage. Some men carry that resentment, regret for the rest of their lives, and they never move on, they never date, or worst of all, they keep falling back into the same toxic relationship. And then some men move on so quickly, emotionally and mentally, that they go on to find a woman and partner relationship that is healthy and brings the best out of them as well. How do they do it? It's got nothing to do with looks. How did they obtain it? It's got nothing to do with value. It's about mentally and emotionally and following the steps I'm going to highlight in this video, moving on so you're ready to date. Some men, when they go through breakups, assume by doing these things that it will actually help them reattract your ex. I don't want you to reattract your ex. I don't want you to go back for round 2 of the worst relationship of your life. I don't want you to beg and plead for someone who doesn't want you. I want you to move on so quickly that actually it is the best decision you can make. And in the long term, you look back on that moment and say, I wish I did it sooner. Now, my first piece of advice is something I have said in my videos and on this channel for years now, and especially to clients. And that is to go nuclear and to cut contact immediately. I'm going to say it again so they can hear me right at the back. Go nuclear and cut contact immediately. Now, what does that mean? That means no texts, no WhatsApps, no DMs, no electronic messages, emails as well. That means no phone calls, no video calls, no FaceTimes, nothing like that. And it also means no stalking their social media. And yes, Snapchat as well, all that other crap is social media. It's zero contact, it's zero stalking, it's a full blackout. Those who are ready to do that and do that effectively break free of toxic cycles, relationships, and actually move on at a rapid pace. Those who still keep the contact details of ex, hope they can be friends and so on, never move on, even though they insist it. Even if they sleep with other people or date other people, they still harp on about their exes. But you're not going to do that. You're going to go nuclear. Every time you check on them, you're reopening your wound, that pain. You're basically shooting yourself in the foot whilst trying to compete and finish a marathon. There is no point to text them. You know the drill. It's over. There's no point calling them. You know the situation. It's done. There's no point stalking their socials. They are single now. They are not with you. You are not with them. They can sleep with, date, have kids, do whatever they want. It's not bound to you anymore. Oh, it hurts me so much to see them move on. Then you need to move on. And you need to stop stalking ASAP. So, delete everything. If you delete it, then there's no reason for you to check or contact because you don't have their contact details. If you block, there's no reason for them to reach out to you because you want to move on. So there's no point in deleting and keeping their details. Block them on everything and anything so they cannot contact you and walk away. Burn the bridge. No one else says this. I say it because it's the right thing to do to move on, irrespective if it's amicable. You'll feel like you ripped off a band-aid in seconds. A weight will be lifted off your shoulder. Why do people who have been on the edge and on the end of toxic relationships keep their contact details when there's no reason to? There's no point. And even if the relationship just didn't work out, there is no point. delete, block, and walk. Next, you need to fill the void with purpose and not distractions. This is very, very underrated. When you're single again, you've got all the time in the world. Boy, what I would do to have all the time in the world. I'm in a very serious relationship. We're getting married. I work very hard on my businesses. And also, I don't have that much free time. But you do now. But most guys numb themselves out. And I don't know where this comes from. And maybe it's from the movies. Maybe it's from the wrong influences. But they say, well, I'm just going to smoke a ton of weed and chill myself out and mellow myself out. I'm going to drink a ton of alcohol to suffer less and numb the pain. I'm going to hook up, maybe even pay a lady of the night and professional services. I'm going to scroll endlessly. I can watch whatever I want. But that just delays healing. Sleeping with somebody is not the right way to get over someone, because you can sleep with them and then a week or so later run back into the arms of your ex for round 2 of the worst relationship ever. Alcohol just makes you feel worse. Drugs, weed, binge eating, scrolling, adult content. The faster movers out there are the ones who channel the pain into purpose. These are the men who are actually using the breakup, using the heartbreak, using the suffering as motivation. Not, once again, to reattract an ex. That is stupid and foolish. But instead, channeling that energy into something worthwhile, with a better return on investment, with a better impact on their lives positively. There is no better time in a man's life than a breakup to focus on self-improvement. Losers, time wasters, people who harp on about exes, rebound and go back to toxic relationships and so on, don't do this. They focus on self-pity, misery and suffering. You need to focus on self-improvement. What's a great place to channel your pain and suffering in? The gym. You will release a ton of endorphins, scream and let it out on that bar as you bench press or squat or deadlift or just go crazy on the treadmill. And trust me, you won't be depressed after that. Or channel it into business. Start a project. Write a book. The first ever video I created on this channel 5 years ago was about leaving a narcissist safely. What do you think I was doing? I was starting a business, but channeling my pain at the time. Then leveling up skills. You can learn how to invest, compound interest with anything you want to do. You can learn how to paint. Focus on self-improvement. Build momentum fast. You will not have more energy than when you are heartbroken and you need to fill the time. Yes, you can still lounge around and chill out and watch movies and have a pity party here and now and then. But most of the time you need to fill the void that has been left from the relationship and the breakup. And lastly, a very underrated point. You must immediately change your environment. This is easier said than done. And if you're locked into mortgages and rents and so on, that's different. But to be stuck in the past means you go to the same places, see the same people, and therefore it's the same triggers. If you are literally going to a place, knowing willingly you're going to run into your ex, you're not going to move on. If you are seeing people who knows your ex and socializing and trying to hope that you overlap that way, it's not going to happen. If you keep doing the same things that are going to trigger you, watching films that are synonymous with them, listening to music, driving to certain places whilst listening to music, whilst talking to people, it's all stupid. Life is not a Hollywood movie. Your life is not a rom-com. These triggers are keeping you stuck in the past. You need to rip the band-aid off and go somewhere new. One of the greatest decisions of my life these last few years was getting out of my comfort zone, moving to a new house, a new area, and building a new life. By doing that, I attracted a new relationship, and the rest is history. You need new inputs to create new emotions. The past is the past. Yes, it's sentimental. Yes, Christmas won't be the same. Valentine's Day. Yes, your social life has changed. Yes, your environment's changed. But that's life. People change. God forbid family die. Friends drift apart. Opportunities come and go. Businesses die and then get reborn, or something new comes along. This is life. This is a process of grief. By changing your environment immediately, the quicker you can, and your social life and so on, the better you will feel. So, switch up your routine. If you are still acting like you're in a relationship despite being broken up with, what the hell are you doing, man? If you're still doing the same old things that you did in a relationship that didn't work out, what the hell are you doing, man? If you're still acting and behaving like that person's there, even though you're sleeping in bed alone, hugging a pillow, thinking it's them, what the hell are you doing, man? Switch up your routine. Why not travel? Now you've got the chance to travel. You've got no one to answer to, no one to get permission from, no one to budget with. Travel. It doesn't even need to be halfway across the world. It could be literally down the road. It could be on a train somewhere. It could be to an area in your community you've never been to. Change your circle. If your circle is so synonymous with your ex, bin them. Cut them out. Cut contact. What is the point? Oh, it's her sister. It's this. It's her best friend. Fine. Find new best friends. Okay? Start a new project. A project that's going to take you out of your comfort zone. One client of mine had this fascination of taking pictures of lakes. It was beautiful. So I told him, start a project of building a portfolio of all the greatest lakes in the country. That's what he's doing. And he's obsessed with it. And he's met beautiful people by staying in Airbnbs, traveling around. Go somewhere you've never been before. Step outside your comfort zone. The comfort zone of your relationship is dead. And being in the comfort zone of a relationship that's dead with a person that's no longer there is sad. Shock your system. Take yourself out of your comfort zone. Push yourself out of the boundaries of what's familiar to you and see the person you're going to be. This will get you over them so quickly. So go nuclear. Cut contact instantly. There is no reason for you to speak to these people. If you have to, do it through lawyers. Email at a push. But at the same time, you have got to 100% recognize and realize that contact is a waste of time. Next, fill the void with purpose, not distractions. Alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, pornography, all keep you exactly where you are now. And you've had enough of that now. Enough is enough. Focus on self-improvement. Go to the bloody gym. Get into the best shape of your life. Level up your skills. Learn something. Learn a language. Business. Anything. Build that momentum. And lastly, switch up the routine. Travel for the first time ever. Step outside of your comfort zone. Start a new project, a YouTube channel. Shock your system. And then you won't have a second to think about that person anymore. My goal with you is to simply go to bed at night and wake up the next day and have 24 hours without them even crossing your mind. It's possible. I've done it, and so many others as well. Get over them fast. Right now, use that as your motivation. Or choose the familiar, what you're doing right now, and stay stuck for the rest of your life. It's your choice. I'm just the messenger. You can apply all of this today, or if you actually want help cutting ties, moving forward, and getting over them so fast it feels illegal, book a free discovery call with me. I am the expert on the power of walking away. No one does this better than me. No one knows it better than me. I've lived it, I've done it, and I've moved on. That's the roadmap. Live it, do it, move on. Cut the cord, go nuclear, do the healing, recovery, move on so you can live your best life ever. I've done the roadmap. I'll tailor it and personalize it just for you. But that is how you get over them fast. Make a solemn vow today. Enough is enough.